In today's lesson, we're going to talk about obtuse angle and exact values. So the circle here is called a unit circle. So if I put a point here, center, radians, we call that 1. And if I start the positive of x-axis and I go anti-clockwise, then suddenly I form an angle theta. Using previous knowledge of sine cos tan, then we can write down the ratio. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. In this case, is y over 1 is 1. Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's x over 1 is x. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So it's y over x, which is also called sine theta over cos theta. If I call this point P here, then we say the x-coordinate of P is cos theta. The y-coordinate of P is sine theta. Now let's have a look at some of the important results we want to get out of this lesson. All right, if we say sine 40, let's type this into the calculator. So sine 40 is equal to let's go 0.6428 if I want to 4 decimal places, right? So sine 40. If I want to have 140 degrees, say I've got a point Q there, and if I drew another line there, then what's gonna happen is if I start from the positive x-axis, I go anti-clockwise, then I've got this angle there, I call it 140 degrees. All right, so let's type in the calculator. Let's say sine 140 degrees. What value is that? Sine 140 degrees, I get 0.6428 again. Now you can see these two are exact the same value. Yet the number is the same and they are all positive. Yeah. Now let's have a look at cos. So cos 40, type into the calculator, which will give me cos 40, which will give me 0.7660. If I want to find out cos 140, so cos 140, which will give me the opposite version, the negative version of that, negative 0.7660. Now, we can easily see that the numbers are the same, but the opposite in sign. One is positive, this one is negative. So these are some of the important results we can draw here. Now, if I may write down, continue, we've done sine, we've done cos. Now, if we have a look at the tan, so tan 40. So tan 40 would equal to 0.8391 if I want 4 decimal places. Now, tan 140 would equal to negative 0.8391. Now, I'm sure you guys can see these two values are the same, but the opposite in sign. One is positive, one is negative. Now, based on these results, we can easily see that the cos 180 minus theta, so the supplementary angle of cos theta is 180 minus theta. And we will get the opposite version of that, which will get minus cos theta. Sine 180 minus theta is exactly the same number, so it's just sine theta. Tan will get the opposite version of that, which is negative tan theta. Okay, so these three results are important. Let's continue. The next thing is exact value. Whenever it comes to exact value, we want to leave the answer in terms of thirds rather than decimal places. So let's have a look. So these two angles is what I call special angle. They are special because I've got 30, 45, 60, 90 there. So after some practice, I would pretty much would ask you guys to know these results by heart. Or there's no need to mechanically memorizing them. You can basically visualize from the right angle triangle. So let's have a look. So sine 45 is opposite over hypotenuse 1 over root 2. Based on what we did in term 1, rationalize the denominator, we get that result. So cos 45, we can say this is a isosceles triangle. Cos 45 is also 1 over root 2. After rationalize, we get root 2 on 2. So sine 45 equals cos 45. Now tan 45 is easy. Tan 45 is opposite over adjacent, which is basically just 1, which makes sense because this is isosceles triangle, same ratio. Now let's have a look at the next special right angle triangle on 30 degrees and 60 degrees here. Now this is a pretty important relationship. Whenever we have got a 30 degrees angle, its opposite side is always half of the hypotenuse. So the ratio is always half, 1 on 2 there. Now sine 30 is opposite over hypotenuse 1 on 2. Sine 60 is opposite over hypotenuse. Now sine 90 is 1. Now cos 30 is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is root 3 on 2. Cos 60 is adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, I would ask you guys to compare what you've noticed. It's easy to see that this number is equal to this number, which means sine 30 is equal to cos 60, and sine 60 is equal to cos 30. Again, I would ask you guys to know this by heart. There's no need to memorize both of them. If you really want to memorize something, I would ask you guys to memorize this part, then this part comes for free. So buy one, get one for free. And cos 90 is sine 0, which is 0. Okay? All right, so that's the main part for today. Lesson.